All right, dude. I see that
we're recording as of right now because
Excellent.
we've got to randomly select the movie we're watching next week.
By praying to the J-Man in the sky.
Yeah, J-Man, Jesus. Hello and welcome back to Real Horror Show. I'm your host, Samantha, and I'm joined as always by the Stormy Skies.
Hello.
I am vaccinated.
Yes.
So by listening to this podcast, I will not get COVID from any of you guys.
Yeah, like thank goodness. We were always really worried about Sam wearing her mask on mic.
Yeah. Stormy is not vaccinated, but...
Yeah, but you know what? Maybe by the time you hear this, I might be. Who knows? But just stay tuned.
Who knows? It was kind of just random happenstance that I was able to get the vaccine.
Yeah.
And I don't know if anyone else out there has noticed this. A lot of vaccination sites are just going by the honor system. Like,
what do you mean by that?
So hopefully I sent you a series of Snapchats when David and I went last Saturday to get ours at the Civic Center.
It was the big, long, line that you said it was like a maze or something.
Yeah. So it was a drive-through clinic, which I think a lot of them are. That's what the Janssen vaccine is doing. Mm-hmm. And I'll touch on that one in a second. And when I signed David and I up, I signed David up first because it's more important for him to get it than me.
Yeah.
And I had to answer all these questions like, are you an essential worker? Do you have health issues that qualify you for 1B?
Mm-hmm.
Which I do. But when we got there, they didn't ask us any of those. They didn't ask any follow-ups.
Yeah.
They even asked for like our mother's maiden names in the questionnaire form. So we thought that was like, so someone doesn't mug you on the way and try and steal your spot.
And like try to get the shot, and they that's like the security question.
Yeah. But no, cool. They didn't ask us that. They were just like, which arm do you want it in?
Left or right. That's
yeah.
Awesome.
But we got the brand new single dose Janssen vaccine. It wasn't really the one we would have preferred because it does have a lower efficiency rate.
Mm-hmm.
But still super glad we got it. There should be more controversy, but I have seen some people bring it up. It's distributed by Johnson & Johnson, who is currently being sued by hundreds of women, including David's mom, for more or less intentionally giving them cancer because they knowingly had asbestos in their baby powder from like 1970 something to early 90s.
Oh, I read about that.
Yeah.
I totally it didn't even cross my mind, dude, whenever I was thinking about the vaccine.
Yeah. So Johnson & Johnson didn't make the vaccine. It was made by a lab in Sweden. Johnson & Johnson is just distributing it.
Yes.
So that's why I'm careful to say the Janssen vaccine.
Yeah, it's good to differentiate. So that's important. Yeah.
We're also not mentioning to David's parents that this is the one we got because
because they might not understand.
Yeah, because she's currently involved with the class action lawsuit against Johnson & Johnson because she was one of the cancer patients.
Oh man.
But yeah, it's the single dose shot. My arm hurt for 5 days. It still hurts if you touch it wrong.
Oh damn. Like right in the spot.
Yeah. But other than that, I had some fatigue, a headache. David had more severe like flu symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday, I am not sure if it was vaccine related or other health problems I should be concerned about, but I did have pretty severe stomach pain on Tuesday.
Interesting.
But I'm sure it's fine. I'll just ignore it. Like every other American with their health problems, am I right?
It'll just go away if I ignore it. Yeah, absolutely.
But anyway, I guess we can go ahead and see what Movies Jizzes has selected for us.
Yes, I'm so excited because we have no idea. I'm just really excited as to what it could be.
Absolutely no idea. So let me just...
There's so many movies. It could be anything.
Pull out this sheet of paper. We are watching Hellfest.
Oh, how fun.
Which is a 2018 horror movie. They came for the frights. Now they have to fight for their life. The scares at this creepy carnival are killer. Who wrote that description?
Dude, like, that, I don't know, but cool. Tells me all I need to know, I guess.
This is a slasher movie that takes place at a Halloween carnival.
That sounds like most of my life.
Yeah. So
the Halloween carnival.
I'm gonna guess it's like if you went to Busch Gardens or any other amusement park during the October season where they have the scare actors jumping out at you spontaneously. A really bad place to start getting murdered.
Oh my God. No one would even know it was real because everyone's just screaming.
Exactly.
Exactly, my dude.
Which I wanna talk about haunted trails for a second.
Okay.
You have a lot more experience than I do. I only worked on one for 1 year, and it was hosted by a woman whose name I'm not going to mention because she has been threatening to sue many people in the community.
Oh my.
Ever since she participated in the Capitol riots. Or she didn't participate
in
them.
Oh my God.
She just happened to be in Washington, D.C. to see Trump speak on the day that the Capitol riots happened. And she just happens to fully support it and happens to think the election was stolen.
Oh man. Yikes.
She's currently running for a seat in the Virginia House of Delegates or Representatives, whatever it's called.
Wow.
And she was the one who operated this haunted trail. She only paid us for the time we worked on the trail while it was open. She didn't pay us for the month of setup beforehand. So that's one thing. And someone was asking for like screenshots of her being crazy. And I was like, I don't have screenshots, but when I worked for her back in 2010, one of my props were 2 severed cow hooves, real severed cow hooves.
Oh my God.
That I was expected to hold.
Oh no.
Did you ever experience anything like that on your trails, or were they normal?
Well, Sam, myself, I won't mention the individual who ran the trail because the trail is still running. We did not have props that were real, like real animal hooves. However, there were actors that would bring in real animals to scare people with, such as rats and snakes and stuff like that, like their pets.
Okay, well, that's fine, I guess.
Yeah.
As long as they're not just picking up random snakes from the woods to...
Like they found, like there was a rat hiding under like the fucking wooden house. You know what I mean? Like, oh, here's a
like they're domesticated at least.
Yeah. But like, no, we did not experience someone like, hey, here's some scary things. They're real hooves. Like that's kind of fucked up.
Because I'm always...
Yeah.
I mean, there's places like McCamey Manor, which we won't talk about because we got roasted by a hater one time.
Oh, yeah, that one time. She was super mad.
The one McCamey Manor fangirl came after us.
Yeah, she was like clearly obsessed with them and we really hurt her feelings. That was weird.
But like just for a normal $10 a pop haunted trail here in Southwest Virginia, in the middle of the woods, I feel like using real severed animal parts is a bit of a risk.
Kind of pushing it. Yeah, a little bit of a risk. Like, it could put you at risk.
Like, it's not like there were coyotes or anything in the area.
Oh.
Because I got tired of handling the hooves because they were partially frozen most of the night, and middle of October it got really cold and my hands were fucking freezing. They accidentally fell down the hill. And we had to later go hunt them down because there were some coyote sightings because the coyotes were looking for the hooves. And I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have had them in the first place because eventually the coyotes are going to catch on and...
Yeah, they're going to eat you. Oh my goodness. Yeah, there's coyotes up here too that we kind of deal with whenever I was working in that area. However, we didn't have like the animal parts, you know?
Yeah.
But I will say that regarding the payment issue, one, you absolutely should have been paid. If anything, I would say you should have been paid first for your setup work and second for your acting work, because you're actually when you're setting up, you're actually using your body to create, to make stuff, and you could have gotten hurt. So that would have been important. And second, acting would be second, because not a lot of like volunteer actors would be paid anyway. But for the place I was at, you know, there is a unspoken hierarchy of individuals who were paid under the table, and everybody else didn't know about that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was that. I feel like no matter what happens and where you go, no matter how high profile your like haunt is, it's some shady shit. No matter where you go, haunts are just shady places. And you could just there's like no rules.
Absolutely.
But yeah,
like
cool. I'm excited to watch.
I'm sure the big like tourist trap haunts are probably less shady, but your local haunt that your friends from high school are working at, absolutely
super shady, dude.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like the local one.
There's a good chance they've been drinking and smoking on the trail just minutes before you started walking it with your friends.
Absolutely. Yeah, they're drinking, you're drinking too. Like, it's just a bad combination. There's hills you can step on, you can trip. It's very dim. Maybe someone has a real fucking hoof. Like, they could have a real fucking like knife. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's really, it's such, the whole thing is a gray area, and you just watch yourself, you know, they're fun, but just keep an eye.
Especially watch yourself, because we were alone on that trail and our stop was the first stop. And our scene drastically improved when I got rid of the hooves, because the hooves just weren't playing well, since people couldn't see what they were against the campfire that we couldn't keep lit.
Right.
So instead I just decided to lay on the ground and the girls who were playing witches would cackle, and then the people would walk by me and I would just jump scare them.
Nice.
But it got to a point where a lot of drunk college boys were being led on the trail, and I almost got mounted once. The guys at the scene after us, we were talking to them between groups, and he was like, if they fucking try that shit again, just yell platypus and I'll beat the shit out of them at the next scene.
It's like, and it's funny to like in hindsight, but like real shit, like it's fun as like a person to just go there and experience it. But when you're working there and you're a woman and you really are straight up by yourself between groups, and there's like 20 men and you know what I mean? Like you never fucking know. And like, I can relate to that experience a lot.
And when you're on the trail, you're by yourself. There's no security hiding behind the trees.
It's just the fucking coyotes. And like, that's all you have.
And you haven't trained the coyotes to attack on command.
You have the coyotes, and then you have like your pockets full of nothing because you're not getting paid.
I was in a wedding dress, so I had no pockets and I was so cold.
Yeah. And also, I don't know, like if there's one thing I want to emphasize to individuals who have never worked there but have like gone there for fun, and it's that you're always cold. And Sam said it well when she just said that she was trying to keep the campfire on and it just wasn't staying on. Like, they're not going to do it for you. You got to make that shit yourself and like maintain the fire so you don't like die out there because you're in the middle of the fucking woods.
And at some point, like in the middle of October, I had to break the illusion somewhat and just wear my winter fur boots with my wedding dress.
Oh yeah.
So I could hide my hot feet in my boots. And even that wasn't enough.
Yeah, dude. I should show you some pictures after we get off mic of me dressed in like my like many layers. I would wear like tons of layers out so I can put my like, you know, bodice over like 4 thermals. Yeah. You know what I mean? But like that's the way it had to be to stay warm. Sometimes you get lucky and it'd be like a warm fall, but most of the time it was a fucking rainy, muddy, freezing fall, and it just sucked.
I hope we're all hope we are close enough to being a country fully vaccinated by October, because before I had no interest in really going to amusement parks, but I feel like this year we need to go to Fright Fest or whatever it's called at Busch Gardens, or whatever King's Dominion does in October.
Cool.
Or just like something, because haunted houses didn't happen this year. Although maybe they could have, since the scare actors wear masks anyway. You could have totally.
Yeah.
Actually, one haunted house did happen. The one that usually goes on, the big one here that happens, they partnered with a new drive-through car wash to do a haunted car wash.
Oh, how fun.
We didn't do it because apparently the line was outrageous and a hindrance on this community.
I bet.
But, yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, dude.
You could have totally themed some haunted houses around the COVID pandemic. And
that would have been cool, but also like probably people would have been like fucking pissed and be like, "It's too soon," you know?
That's fair. That's fair.
But up here, you know, like the local haunts that you talked about that are like really, really far away in the middle of nowhere, like they kind of happened up here, but I heard that masking was happening as well.
Yeah.
So that was cool too. Yeah. But this year, vaccinations are happening full on, you know, Fright Fest at, you know, the amusement parks. I went to a really amazing like a Fright Fest at Cedar Point in Ohio, and it's called
Cedar Point.
It's called Halloween Horror Nights up there.
Yes.
And like, first of all, since it's next to a lake, it's like really windy, so it's like really cold anyway. But it's really fun because it's scary, and there's scary music that happens all day, and at night they have the scary haunts. Oh, it's so much fun because you have roller coasters and you have, it's just like a delight.
Yeah.
It's a
Did
delight.
you do Dragster?
The Top Thrill Dragster was closed because it was too windy.
Oh no.
It was like all windy, and it was like super windy, like no fucking lie. I did the Millennium Force though.
Ooh, how was it? I hear that's one of the best coasters in the world.
It was so fast. Oh, it was so much fun. And I would love to go back to hit the rides that I didn't go on, but because there were certain ones closed, we ended up doing a few coasters more than once. And Sam, you would love it in October because whenever you wait in the lines, they have like those big TVs you can watch, and it was playing like Halloween like music videos. So like Rob Zombie music videos, like fucking Nightmare Pro, like whatever you want and whatever you love, that's Halloween music. It was playing that like on the big screen. It was so cool.
That sounds significantly more pleasant than going in the summer.
Yeah, I would actually opt for doing the horror nights because in the summer it's hot. I mean, like you can go on the rides and cool off, but like there's nothing fun when, you know, like the sun goes down. So yeah, it's like 2 in 1. So that's why I like that. So anyway,
I haven't been to Cedar Point since 2003. So the Top Thrill Dragster was brand new.
Whoa.
It was still the tallest roller coaster in the world because King Dakar wasn't finished yet.
And you went on the Top Thrill Dragster?
Absolutely not.
Oh my God. I feel like if it was open, 9. I'd be scared. Oh, you were 9. Okay.
And so I probably wouldn't have been tall enough for that one. But we went on a lot of other ones. Iron Dragon was probably my favorite.
Oh, cool.
Gemini was good. Didn't do Millennium Force. I'm a very anxious person, so roller coasters really trigger that, but
okay.
I'm also kind of ready to get over that because I just need to scream, and roller coasters are a socially acceptable place to scream.
I need to scream, and I'm afraid I won't stop once I've started.
Yeah. And part of me feels like I could probably do Top Thrill Dragster if I could just get through the line because it's only a 17-second roller coaster.
Yeah.
So the roller coaster itself, you wouldn't have time to get scared on, but it's the anticipation in the line.
Yeah, I feel like if it were open, I would have probably, like, there's a good chance I would have psyched myself out over it because I would have been like, well, like, I'm too scared. You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
But luckily for me, it was close. I was like, oh, okay, well, cool. I don't even have to like get anxious about it.
You don't even have to make up excuses why you don't want to go on it.
Exactly. I'll just go through the, the haunted asylum instead.
Yeah. Oh, nope. I can't go on Top Thrill Dragster. I just got my period.
Yeah.
You know what they say.
You know what they say. No inversions during the period. But yeah, we went on, Maverick was the one coaster that I loved. And we went on that one twice.
Yeah, Maverick gets a lot of good reviews.
Oh, it's so cool. I love it because it's really long. So you're just like, wow, this is going on forever. I love it. So totally cool. But yeah, I feel like everything about those aspects is really fun. And when you add horror and Halloween into the mix, it really is just delightful for people like us.
Yeah.
So that's super cool. And I
hope
hope
be a really fun fall weekend trip. Like you leave on Friday, and from where we are, you hit up Point Pleasant, West Virginia, where Mothman is.
Yeah, the Mothman is there. His statue is there.
Yeah. We went 2 summers ago, and it was cool. It's a really cute town.
I remember when you went there and you documented it for Real Horrorshow.
Yeah.
So that's super cool.
But we should probably, before this gets too long, segue into Vampire Diaries.
What we're actually supposed to be talking about.
Because we're going to have a lot of great insight for Hellfest next week. So be sure you listen to that review.
Yeah. But, that's all for Hellfest. We'll talk about it next week, but now let's get into the real horror show, which is season 2 of Vampire Diaries.
We are halfway through season 2 of Vampire Diaries.
Yes, I hit episode 12, so
awesome.
I'm caught up.
It has grown on me. Season 1 was really slow. I forget how slow these 22 episode commercial breaky series are. But Netflix has added a really great feature where you can actually watch shit at like 2 times speed now. Not that I watched it at 2 times speed. That was a little weird, but I watched it at 1.25 speed.
Oh, wow.
Up until the end of season 1. Because at the end of season 1, they introduced Katherine, and Katherine is just fucking great.
Yeah, I was wondering when that was going to happen, and now Katherine is a main character that's happening all the time, and it's super cool because it's like the doppelganger of Elena, or Elena's the doppelganger of her. So like it's both of them at the same time on the screen, and they're trying to work that out in the early 2000s. So it's kind of cool to see how they do it.
I like Katherine a lot. I think the actress playing them does a pretty good job at setting them apart.
Yes. Yeah, I'm glad that is happening.
We're getting into a lot more lore with werewolves. They were introduced to this season, as well as a group of vampires called the Originals. Yeah,
like you talked about before.
Which they have a spin-off.
Yeah.
And someday we'll get to that. That's maybe.
Next. Maybe.
We've also got a few seeds of a possible love triangle between Damon, Elena, and Stefan.
Yeah, Stefan.
I like overemphasizing.
You like Stefan being a bit more vampiric. I don't know why they didn't go for it.
Well, I mean, you've got Damon, which is a very vampiric name, and then you got Stefan.
Steven. His name might as well be Steve.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know why they don't go for the Stefan. That's actually a good question.
Oh, and Caroline's a vampire now. I love Vampire Caroline.
Yeah, she is so much more, has so much more self-esteem now. Like, but poor so Caroline, she really has been like fucking just gone through some shit. Now she's finally dead. Undead, I mean. Oh, wow.
And she's kind of entering her own little love triangle between Werewolf Boy and Elena's ex-boyfriend.
Yeah, Tyler and Matt.
Which I like Caroline and Matt together, but I get why she couldn't be with him because
she's gonna drink his blood.
Yeah, she wants to kill him whenever they make out, but she also can't be with Tyler because one bite from him during a full moon could kill her.
Yeah, because they're sworn enemies. Okay, so I'm really glad that we have brought out the sworn enemy vampire werewolf dynamic. So that's pretty cool.
And you know what? I'll fucking say it. I like Elena and Stefan better than Bella and Edward.
Damon. Oh, Bella. Yeah, me too, right? Because like it's more of a natural relationship in my opinion.
Like,
it's not weird.
Now having Edward's full perspective of how he really views Bella. It's just, there's no comparison. Stefan respects Elena as a person.
Yes.
When she broke it off with him, he respected that. I mean, he was heartbroken and was ready to get her back and still wanted to protect her.
Yeah.
But neither one of them became suicidal.
Yeah, absolutely. They just like got through their shit and were able to get back together. And it just, I like it a lot better. I also, speaking of like, you know, Belle and Edward, I like that how they kind of like do little like name drops here and there about like Twilight and stuff. I'm like, so they're a little self-aware, and that kind of makes it a bit better for me because I'm just like, hey, okay, I see you. So I'm really I'm loving it, because when I put it on, I just can't stop watching it. And no matter how much happens, everything that does happen is very exciting. It's not like they're adding this like, you know, new like problem to gain more episodes. It's actually like a pretty compelling situation. Nothing is just like a bore, like, oh, they just added this to like have 4 more episodes.
Yeah,
and even it's dragging for me. Yeah.
And even though the Katherine situation is taken care of right now at this point in season 2, it's not completely taken care of because she's still alive, and the originals are going to come after her when they all show up.
Yeah, and it's like, it's not even like it's thrown in either, because whenever they were shutting her up in the tomb, spoiler alert, she was like, oh wait, the doppelganger needs to be protected. So it's not like she just said that, or they just threw it in. She's always looked like Elena, and then we finally got our answer just now. So it's not like they just did it and shoehorned it in. They're like identical twins, but like actually the same person. So it's like, oh, a doppelganger situation is happening. What's that about? So this is another piece of lore that like I've never even seen appear on the screen. So I'm really excited to like see where this goes too.
Yeah, and I hadn't finished season 1 in the last mini show, but the reveal of Katherine coming back was pretty shocking for a CW cable show.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean, I believed it was Elena with how awkward that kiss between her and Damon was.
Yeah.
And she's talking to her Uncle John in the kitchen, and all of a sudden she chops his fingers
off. His finger off so he can die, because he has the special ring where he can't die. And I was like, wow, I really didn't like John anyway. But like, I was like, oh shit. And then it was Elena, and I was like, oh shit.
That was pretty brutal. They showed the fingers chopped off. Like,
it was badass. I was like, oh my goodness. Yeah, and I do have to keep reminding myself that this was like the CW. So it was like straight up cable TV. I'm like, wow, I got some blood, huh? So
yeah, this show is a lot bloodier than
it
Twilight.
It's pretty intense.
So I applaud it for that, pushing the envelope a little.
Oh yeah, I like it. They just put just enough. So it's a bit questionable, but they're like, oh, we'll just let it slide. So pretty cool.
And a lot sexier, which is weird now that I'm an adult watching it, because these are high schoolers. But I also do appreciate that they aren't prudes like Bella and Edward.
Yeah, they are. They are like beautiful people. It's pretty sexy, and they do, you know, allude to like, you know, having sex and spending the night. And we see the actress who plays Katherine like in her underwear, you know, it's just like more risque.
Yeah, but it's chill because these are like 25-year-olds playing 16-year-olds.
Yeah, so it's cool, but also like they're also
it's a little weird.
It's weird, and I have to be like, well, they're basically my age right now, but yeah. But they're behaving like teenagers would anyway, so it's like still fine. Yeah. Anyway, but we're loving it so far.
Yeah, I think it's grown on me. Oh no, it's a good cross-stitching show.
Oh, absolutely. And I feel like after we cover Hellfest, by the next mini-sode, we'll be on, I guess, maybe halfway through season 3. We'll see.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. We had to take a little break. Excited to catch up.
Yeah. But I guess we will see you, hear you guys, or you'll hear us.
Whoa!
Next week.
You can hear them. We can hear you. If you guys didn't know that, surprise.
We know what you're doing.
We know that you complain while you're listening. Anyway.
So
tune in.
Yeah, tune in next week for us to review Hellfest, or the week after that if you're only here for Vampire Diaries talk.
Either way, it's fine as long as you're here.
Yeah.
That's cool with us. More listens, the better. So
yeah.
Catch up with you guys next week so Sam and I can talk about our brief lives working in a Hellfest, which is the real horror show, aka a Halloween circus, which is basically what we both had experience doing anyway.
Yeah.
So really cool. Our conversation will continue next time.
And until then, goodbye.
Goodbye.